Yeah, it's a strange one. With a minute and a half to go, you dare to dream that we think we might have done it, and then they score a good try at the end. And look, we're really proud of that second half. Like, we're disappointed with the first half, and I can talk about the detail of that. But the way we came out in the second half, I was really pleased with, and yeah, it's great to retain the Calcutta Cup. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good feeling, even though it was a draw and it was a game we could have won there at the end. Yeah, the overriding emotion is we're pleased.
Describe the atmosphere in the dressing room at half time.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly nice. We gave them a lot of exactly what they wanted in that first half. We kicked a lot, which was a part of our game plan, but our chase wasn't as good, and it allowed their dangerous runners, especially Daly and stuff, just to have exactly what they want, loads of space to run, and they carved us and didn't allow us to get the collisions we wanted on them, and then we just felt we were chasing our tails a lot that first half. But then this half time, we always spoke about was just sorting our kick chase out, and we knew that would solve a lot of our problems, slowing down that first breakdown, and then just getting up and hitting them. And we scored some great tries in that second half. It was really pleasing.
Did you believe that Scotland were still in the match at that point?
At half time, we spoke about winning the second half. We wanted to go out and win the second half, and did we think at the time that we thought we could score 31 unanswered points? Probably not, given the way they played in the first half. But you score one, you score another, and then you start to believe. We scored some great tries. Some of them were brilliant. Sam Johnson's, especially at the end, to put us into the lead was outstanding, wasn't it? Yeah, no, it's a weird one, like, because as you say, with like a minute to go, you're thinking we've done this, and then
there'll still be that little niggle of regret about the try at the end.
Look, I don't know about if regret's the right word. It's disappointing to concede, and right under the sticks as well. You knew that that was the game gone to the draw. Yeah, I think it's a strange one. It's a strange one.
How important did you think your own try was in sparking the comeback?
Yeah, I didn't really think too much about it. Yeah, I just got a charge down and ran as fast as I could and managed to just have enough grass left to get all the way in. Yeah, at the time it was good to sort of stem the flow a wee bit and get some points on the board going into the half, but it was definitely the second half effort that did it. Because of all sorts of problems with our attack shape and our intensity we put on the ball, and yeah, we put one of the best teams in the world under heaps of pressure at home, at their home, which is really pleasing.
So how do you assess where Scotland are 6 months ahead of the World Cup?
Yeah, well, we need to be pretty honest about the whole Six Nations in general. We've showed up in parts. We've played well second half last week against Wales, second half this week. Yeah, look, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. That was a really good second 40, and we've done something we've not done for a long time, which is retain the Calcutta Cup, which means a lot to us in Scotland. And but there's so much of that positives to take forward, in terms of putting one of the best teams in the world under heaps of pressure in their own backyard. Credit to them in the first half. They played some great rugby, but I feel like we dictated the game in the second half, which was really pleasing.
Yes.
Not as high as last year's win, but it ranks as a unique game. I've never been involved in a game like that as a player or a coach. There's not many games of rugby end up being 31-0 to 38-31 and end up at 38 all, especially when you think of the team we're up against and what a good defence they've got. So yeah, it's the most unusual game I've been involved in.
You ever experienced a feeling like that in rugby in the coaching box in any situation?
The feeling at half time or the feeling at full time?
Let's go half time and then how you were feeling as they mounted the comeback.
Once before, Glasgow away to Toulon, I think we were 30 points to 3 down, and the Toulon supporters were already ripping up their papers and celebrating the victory. So that's what I immediately thought back to. And in that day, we ended up scoring 4 tries in the second half. And obviously at the end, you just feel a lot of pride that the players have not only taken the game to the opposition, but scored some great tries. And I'm happy with very happy with the draw considering what happened in the first half, but the players are absolutely gutted. At the end of the game, they're really disappointed not to have won, which seems incredible to think when you're 31-0 down to have accomplished that in the second half. But we talked about, I think Stuart mentioned, we talked about just winning back respect in the second half. Winning the second half, that was going to be a huge challenge. We're playing a team that had scored 31 unanswered points and were in control for 30 out of those 40 minutes. I think the last 10 minutes we showed a lot more intensity and cohesion in our defence, and that forced a couple of errors. And obviously Stuart's try was a bonus on top of that defence. But to go out and score another 5 tries in the second half is still hard to believe.
Last week, Warren Gatland said he felt Wales took their eye off the ball. Eddie said the same about England today. Did you sense that possibly they might get complacent? Was that in your mindset?
Well, I think sport and in rugby, you have a confidence that one team has or a momentum, and if the other team starts to play well, what you tend to find is not both teams have the same amount of confidence about what they're doing. It goes to the other team, and that seemed to be the case. They had to change the way they were playing in the second half. They were kicking a lot more because at times when they were moving the ball, we were getting errors. We got obviously an interception try, and we were tackling behind the gain line, which wasn't happening in the first half. And we were getting confidence in the fact that we were finding space, and the players' fitness showed really, really well in the second half, and also the bench made a big impact. I think if the game had kept on going, who knows? But I think we were just disappointed at the end not to have held out, but to get into that position is an incredible achievement.
How much does this change the way you feel about where your team is now? You will get them back in the summer, and then it all really starts rolling towards the World Cup.
It doesn't change that much about the team. I think I know a lot more about individuals today. There's 2 or 3 players who have really stepped up. I know Magnus Bradbury was outstanding at number 8, in a game where the opposition kicked the ball a lot to him, and he showed real courage to play 80 minutes and carry hard and tackle hard after having missed 4 months of the season leading into this tournament. Sam Johnson, how he responded to a couple of errors defensively, which were down to his enthusiasm early on in the game, and then play some excellent rugby, really good low tackles on their big men, score a world-class try, one of the best tries Scotland's ever scored. Darcy Graham, another person, second start for Scotland, scores 2 tries and outstanding in defence as well. So there's a number of individuals. We now have a clearer picture of what they can do when tested, and there's no tougher environment to come and test yourself than Twickenham. And that mindset, that ability, will mean they should have a big career ahead of them with Scotland.
Were there actually any tactical changes you made at half-time as opposed to mindset?
Probably yes, but it was more the tactics that we set out to play. Because things weren't working in the first 10-15 minutes, we're conceding tries. We as a natural response is to overplay and try and score tries and win back the scoreboard. But England's defence was so strong that if we're playing in our half, it could actually mean we're further behind the scoreboard. So we had to talk through that process in the second half, that we still have to put them under pressure. We have to be better with our kick chase. If we're kicking, we've got to make sure we don't allow their back 3 into open space, which is what happened in the first half. And there was much more balance to our game in the second half, and credit goes to Finn Russell. I thought his decision making was excellent and put pressure on England through his kicking game, attacked very well with ball in hand, and obviously had some big moments in defence too.